for Andy of 865, and that Tetris is going to seal it. Andy is your 2025 Mega Dasters winner. Wallbant with a great run, his best run in one of our Das Masters tournament.
Run, you're free. Go, go. It looks like this is the emerald standard for villager halls these days in Minecraft. Tiny one-by-one holes where the villagers live out their days on call 24/7 to trade any time the player wants. Whether you call it a cubicle, a workstation, or a cell, it's still a prison for these poor villagers. Let's build a free range trading hall that allows the villagers to have more freedom to move while still serving our needs. That way, we can gain the benefits of trading without sacrificing the movement and fun and whimsy that villagers can bring to our Minecraft world. Hey y'all, I'm the Southern Man, but all my friends call me Tasoa. How do we make a trading hall like this one, where the villagers clock in and out on our time schedule? Let's rewind and go back to the beginning. Let's begin by finding a village and observing villagers' daily schedule and routine. It's morning, so the villagers are wide awake and just wandering to start their day. At 8 a.m., it's time to head to their workstation. The villagers continue to work diligently until quitting time. Then it's time to gather at the town center and do a little gossiping and sharing the news of the day. There's a little time left just to wander and explore the town. As the sun sets on another beautiful day, everyone goes home to bed.
Get Taro.
Sweet dreams.
Who the fuck plays Get Taro?
Trading with villagers in an open village like this can be tedious because workstations are scattered in different buildings far across the village. It takes time to travel, find the wandering villager, and complete all of your trades. That's why villager trading halls, where the villagers are concentrated in one area, are so popular. Our villager trading hall will combine the best of both worlds, still allowing the villagers to move freely while making it a little easier for trading by concentrating the workstation. Our build will be inspired by this vanilla structure.
Why did they
This is
hold one form divided
Lane's
into many?
Village Meeting Point 4.
What the hell?
I'm
Bro's
going to
playing the wrong.
slightly modify
Bro's
this
playing the wrong
blueprint
sash.
style and build it a little closer to the houses over here, so the villagers don't have such a long commute to work. So, let's get to building.
Build right now.
We've built our basic trading hall right here just past the village center and near all of the houses. The stalls are based on that blueprint for the plains meeting spot 4. We've just shrunk them a little closer together and added more. So we now have 5 stalls, and we're going to set these up for 10 villager workstations. First, however, we need to break all the workstations in our village so the villagers will want to come to our trading hall. So let's find all of the composters and brew stands and break them and turn all our villagers unemployed. Now that everyone is unemployed, we can add workstations to our trading hall for them to discover. We're going to make a trading hall of just librarians to start with, and there's plenty of room here for 2 workstations under each stall. That would give us a total of 10 villagers. Of course, this hall could be expanded into bigger size. This is a good starting place, and you can already see villagers are coming here and finding
Piss.
their
I fucked up.
workstations and becoming librarians.
It's alright.
It's really this easy to make a free range trading hall. You can walk in here and trade with any of our 10 villagers during work hours. Then, at the end of the workday, they will gather at the village square for some socialization time. As the sun sets, they will head to their respective homes to get good night's sleep. While this design allows for maximum villager movement, it's not without its issues. First of all, it's a little chaotic. They can work on either side of the workstation or even on top of it. The villagers also wander away from their station as if they're looking for supplies or taking a break and then wander back. It does make trading a little more free flowing where you have to find who you're looking for if you want to make a specific trade. In addition, they will only be in this area during the work schedule hours. What
I
if you
forgot
want
to
to trade
have
more during the
priority
day,
bath.
late or early? You would have to track down the villager somewhere else in the village. And of course, that takes time and effort. We can take this build up a notch and give it a little more structure and definition, allowing the villagers to move about, but also controlling those movements and the timing of their schedules. It just takes a little bit of structure to influence their pathfinding and a tiny bit of redstone. Let's start by controlling the villagers to work only on the outsides of their stalls here. We'll make it so that the player is the only one who can come in the center. That way, this is like the trading area and the work area is on the outside. So we can make this a complete circle with fence posts by just connecting up stalls with fences like so. And villagers cannot open fence gates. So already we have made this a villager trading hall where the player enters the center and the villagers work on the outside. You may have also noticed that the villagers were jumping up and walking on their workstations. This is a 2-block height, so we need to block this off so they can't escape back into the center of the trading hall. So we can just add some slabs to the underside of this. Now we can't use trapdoors here because the villagers don't see trapdoors as a full block. And so even if it's short, they would just jump and hit their head. Oh, we better hurry before these villagers come to work. One more. Whew, just in the nick of time. All right, everyone's coming into work, and as you can see, they are now on the outside of the trading hall at their workstations instead of in the center. They're also not jumping up and down on top of their stalls. To me, this is already a big improvement. The villagers don't look as wild and scattered. They look much more professional. Now, they do still wander away from their workstation, but they return to it fairly soon. One thing we haven't done yet is lock in their trades. So let's come on and do some trading and see what these villagers have to offer us. We're going to least something from everybody so their trades will be locked in. I spent a few Minecraft days and a lot of emeralds leveling all of these librarians up into master level librarians. Therefore, I had several chests full of books and other supplies from all my purchases. We'll deal with those in a little bit. First, though, I'd like to label all of these stalls so that we know what each librarian sells. Even though they wander, they do come back to the same workstation. I've labeled the book sales for all of our villagers. Now, for fun, I leveled all these up without breaking any lecterns. So these are the first roles that these villagers would have had as they became librarians. So you can see we got some interesting book choices here. Some really good and some not so good. But it's just to show you how it works. I also narrowed down the choices for the shelves because I couldn't display every trade that the villagers had. I decided to narrow it down to the two purchases of paper and books that the villagers will buy from you, and the two sales of bookshelves and glass. I figure if I was trading with these villagers, those would be my main sources of purchases or sales. Now that we have a basic trading hall, here's where we can really level it up. Villagers are only here during work hours, but maybe we want to have them work some overtime. We want to trade longer in the day, allowing them to move about and at least get some sleep at night, but be here more than the normal working hours. We can use villager pathfinding and a tiny bit of redstone to make this happen. Villager pathfinding calculates a cost for traveling different directions toward the workstation or another point of interest, and then they choose the path with the lowest cost. We want to manipulate that pathfinding by making our preferred path the least costly. For our purposes here, that typically means the shortest path. We are making a fence all the way around the trading hall at a distance of 9 blocks from the workstations. That way, the villagers can't reach their lecterns until we make a shorter, more direct path, and they will choose that one every time. As the villagers start heading to their workstations, you can see that they'll try to find the most direct path to their station. So they see these open spaces and they use those to go directly to their workstation. Let's build some actual employee entrances so we can even further control these villagers' movements. To begin our employee entrance, I've made a simple indentation in the fence line with some gates right across from the middle workstations on both sides. As you can see the villagers filing in, they see that pathway brings them closer to their workstations and they head right for it. However, at 1500 hours or 9,000 game ticks, the villagers' daily schedule will cause them to leave their workstations to gather at the village bell. What if we want our villagers to work longer hours? This is where the redstone comes in. We're going to use a 2-gate system to make our villagers stay longer and work some overtime. Let's refer back to the villager schedule. For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to use game ticks for the time. Our hard-working overtime villagers still need to clock in around 2,000 game ticks to start their day. So the gates to the employee entrance need to be open at that time. However, at least one gate has to close before 9,000 ticks so that the villagers can't leave the trading hall during the gather time. Finally, both gates will need to open at the end of the day at 12,000 ticks so that the villagers can go home for bed. Now, that might all sound complicated, but it is going to be super easy to implement using the daylight detectors. A regular daylight detector outputs a redstone signal based on exposure to skylight. If we click it and invert it, it can then send a constant signal that weakens with exposure to light. Basically, we can use the daylight detectors to control the gates for us. Right. Basically, we can use the daylight detectors to control the gates for us. A daylight detector will output a power level of 12 at the 2000 game tick mark where we need the gate to open to start our workday. Afternoon, the daylight levels are declining. Gather time begins at 9,000 game ticks, which is during power level 13. We therefore want the daylight detector to close the gate when it loses power 14 before that happens. Now, the inverted daylight detector works a little differently. However, you can see on this graph with the dark blue line that at 12,000 game ticks, it outputs a signal of 1, which we can use to open our gates and let the villagers go home for the night. Let's put all of that information into practice. Here, let's add a second set of gates in our employee entry. Now, we do need a double set of double gates. You'll see why when we add in the daylight detectors. Let's replace this corner fence post with a solid block next to our gate. The redstone signal can travel through a solid block. We want this gate to be open at power level 12, so it's as easy as placing 12 redstone dust connected to the daylight detector. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and daylight detector.
I
The
forgot
other
about the
gate needs to
assassin.
be unpowered when we lose level 14. So 14 redstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 daylight detector. We can even combine our lines to save on resources. Now we need to wire up the inverted daylight detector on the other side of the gates. We only need a power level of 1 for this one, so we can install the inverted daylight detector between the two gates and use it to control both at the same time. Last but not least, we're going to add 2 pressure plates out front. Notice the daylight detectors powering the redstone and the gates opening and closing throughout this time lapse. Just past 22,000 game ticks, the light levels begin to increase for the start of a new day. Therefore, our inverted daylight detector closes the gates on the right. As sky light levels increase, the daylight detector increases its power output until it reaches level 12, which then opens the inside gate on the right at around 1800 game ticks. At around 2000 game ticks, the workers are pathfinding toward their workstations. They see this as the shortest path due to the indent in our fence. However, their outer gate is blocked. That's where the pressure plates come in because the villagers can use those to open the outer gates and head on into the trading hall. When the power level to the outer gate reaches 14, the outer gate opens. However, this really doesn't affect anything because the villagers are already inside at work. However, as the afternoon light fades and the power level drops from 14 to 13 on the left outer gate, the gate closes around 8800 game tick. This is just before the 9000 game tick change from work to gather. The villagers will wander away from their workstations, but they won't be able to leave the trading hall. Finally, around 12,000 game ticks, the inverted daylight detector will cause both right gates to open so everyone can go home to bed. Regardless of functionality, we also want this to have some aesthetic. So we're going to turn this into an actual employee entrance so our villagers can clock in and out of their job site. We're also going to hide all of these redstone ropes underground just so everything looks a little nicer. Let's check out our new employee entrance. As you enter, there's a place on the side here for you to leave your personal belongings and, of course, a record of our safety incidents here at work. We need to work hard to stay safe. On the other side is the time clock with clock in and clock out. I left the redstone and the daylight detector here exposed. I thought it was just an interesting way to show kind of the mechanics of a time clock. As the villagers arrive, they head right through those gates to their workstations. Sometimes they get a little confused. This guy is going all the way around. Hopefully, he'll find the other entrance. He did. So, having an entrance on both sides helps with the pathfinding. If you find that your villagers are still really struggling, you can put another one of these in the back across from the back workstations. So far, I've found that with 10 villager workstations, having one on each side has been sufficient. While we left this daylight detector exposed, we hid the other ones. Instead of having that redstone all snaking across the ground, dug underneath and placed it deep underground, coming out right here where these moss carpets are. So there's our daylight detectors, and the redstone goes underground all the way across. The perfect 14 redstone dust to this one going to our left, and the same thing from here going to our right. Because we have a two-centered build here, we couldn't get them to connect together. But if you had a one center, you could probably have gotten away with just one daylight detector and they would have joined up nicely. Now, the daylight detectors can see through carpet, so if we just cover these up, they can still be functional because they have sky access, but we won't even see them. A couple extra carpets here and there for some texture, and we wouldn't even know that's what's hidden under our carpet. As you can see, we've chopped up this front space with quite a few fence lines, trying to work with the villagers' optimal pathfinding. Some of these do need to stay, especially the outermost rings, but we can reimagine some of these inner spaces and use them for other functions. One way that I would like to use these is for some copper golem sorting. We have chests upon chests back there of items from our villager trading earlier that are just thrown in all willy-nilly, and we could use the copper golems to sort them. We also could liven this place up with a little bit of decoration. So once again, let's level up this trading hall. Take a look at our finished villager trading hall. We tried to keep the design simple yet fun with the open air concept market stalls, just like our inspiration from the Plains meeting place. Our copper golems are on either side sorting out all of our items if we'll just drop them off in the chests. Now, the book side is actually pretend because even though he's cute with his poppy, this copper golem cannot sort books into the individual types. So this kind of is just for show. This guy, though, sorting out all the other supplies like glass and books, can do his job very well and keep everything organized for us by just dumping them off in the chest. Then all of our villagers are working away at their workstations around the center here. Our employee entrances are working to clock our villagers in and out of their workstations. And we even created some little rest places back here at the back. So there's a little library with some seats for our villagers to take a break, some tables and chairs for them to enjoy a snack from the grill. All in all, I think this villager trading hall brings a lot of fun and movement and life to our village while still giving us the efficiency of trading with our villagers all in one place. Now that we know how to functionally create a villager trading hall, the sky's the limit on design choice. Even by just changing the color and the patterns and the textures, you can get a completely different look. This trading hall was built for farmers, so in the back we have composters at every workstation and some farms to keep them harvesting their crops in that back open space. Now, farmers are a little more chaotic because they do have those pathfinding abilities to get to the crops. However, this design still works as long as you place several crops around their area for them to harvest. Of course, we don't have to have an open air market. We can close the entire structure in and make it an enclosed building space. Now that you have the template for the redstone and the gates and the functional bits, the possibilities for design are endless. Of course, there are safety issues with this design. The villagers aren't safe. They're not locked up in a one by one hole. So you have to light up the village and protect against those nighttime mobs. However, I feel like the whimsy, the movement, and character that it gives to the village is worth the trade off. Well, what did you think? I hope today's video inspired you to build your own trading hall that gives the villagers a little more opportunity for movement. Maybe just let them work 9 to 5 instead of 24/7. Good Lord willing and sun still shines, I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you kindly for watching and bless your heart.
3, 2, 1. Tetris. All right, there it is. OJI. There it is. We're starting. Well, seed number 1, Cobra from the United States of America. This is his first time as the number 1 seed in this tournament. Gotten here all the way to the semifinals. So Cobra got to start in basically round 3, the round of 16. He defeated Tugi and Knight to get here to the semis. Got an overall PB of 5.28 million. He was ranked number 7 in the January Premier poll. That was the poll heading into the month of this tournament. I'm sure the February results are out, but this is still January as far as we're concerned. So yeah, ranked number 7 in the poll, and you can find the full results of that poll, which is a ranking of Tetris players in open and DAS playstyle competition over at premierpoll.com. Premier with an E at the end. Use the PP command in chat to bring up that link as well. Tetris Cobra, Tetris Sidnev get underway in game number 1. Cobra was the winner of the Boston 2 parody, the 2 Boston 2 parody event a year ago, basically 13 months ago. So it was the winner of that. He was also the winner of the last ever Challenger circuit that we held. That was in November of 2024 before we merged 16 players from Challengers with the 16 players in Masters into one tournament. Cobra was the winner of that. Cobra is a 2-time CTWC Gold bracket player. That's the championship level bracket. He was top 8 in 2025 going out to Blue Scooty. Also a 3-time Mega Masters player. He had his best finish 2025, top 16. We've also seen him at the Space City Regional in Houston and the Stillwater Showdown in Oklahoma over the last couple of years. And he was also top 4 in our Lone Star championship. The last time we ever held that was in 2024. And he went out to, Blue Scooty. So See how it goes. Cobra has not won a Masters event before. This is he's going for his first time ever. And in fact, outside of that Lone Star Championship, this is Cobra's first time in the semi-finals. What he can do here? 258 for Cobra, 330 for Sidnep, and that is a raid from Simply with a party of 1,054 people. Here come the boba chats, I'm sure. Bring it on. So, hello, all the Simply fans. Welcome in. We are playing the Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event semis and finals. Classic Tetris Monthly is the preeminent online NES Tetris tournament. We've been going strong since 2017, and we're going to crown a monthly champion like in this stream. All the best players in the world play in this tournament. We're more or less monthly, and it's been going a long time. Welcome in, Simply fans. 394 for Cobra, 406 for Sidnep. And on the right side, it is Sidnep, seed number 4 from the Netherlands with a PB of 8.52 million, ranked number 9 in the most recent ranking of competitive Tetris players. Sidnep won Masters for the first time in August of 2024. He's the reigning Classic Tetris European champion. Also won that tournament 2 previous times at 21 and 25. Sidnep up high on the board right now. I'm going to break this down with a dirty Tetris. It was like column 7 or 8 and like 7 rows high, something like that. I don't know, it was like 6, 7, I don't know. 468 for Cobra, 470 for Sidnep. Cobra was the runner-up in the Classic Tetris World Championship in 2023. And was also the runner-up in our own annual championship, Mega Masters, back in May of 2025. 516 for Sidnep, 496 for Cobra. Yeah, Sidnep's been had many deep runs in our Masters event. A lot of times in the finals. I think it was like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in the finals before finally winning one in August of 2024. 587 transition for Sidnep. That is a healthy one. 544 for Cobra. I don't know what you're talking about, Tile. There is a long bar down. Tetris for Sidnep. Now, we start here on level 18. There's basically 130 lines of that same speed. Transitions into level 19. The colors start to change. The speed goes up by 50%. And we have 100 lines of that speed. The value of line clearance goes up every time the color changes. Tetris is on 19. We're at 24,000. They go up 1,200 points every time the level changes. Another speed increase at level 29, 230 lines of 100 more lines of that speed before the level 39 super kill screen kicks in and kills their game. Sidnep with the meme spin of the Z piece. I mean, it's great when it works. It's great when it works. I mean, you know, obviously Sidnep's going to nail that every time, but I think that's fun for the fans. 802, and it gives you, and it gives you a flat board, not a meme, but it looks amazing. 831 for Sidnep, 712 for Cobra. 5 lines apart. Sidnep ahead by 80, 90 lines, something like that. Tetris for Sidnep, 860. There's one for Cobra, 797. Another Tetris Cobra, 827. This is a best of 5. So the first player to 3 wins is the winner of the match. You have basically 2 more matches after this. The winner of this will go into the finals. And then the other match has Blue Scooty, who some of y'all may have heard of if you're over on the Simply, if you're from the Simply raid. And then Dog Playing Tetris, 2-time CTWC champions. And then the winner of that will face the winner of this in the finals. Max out for Sidnev, that is 1 million points. The A signifies a million because we only get 6 digits up there, so we had to cheat a little bit. About a 50,000 point lead for Sidnev, but like a 3 to 7 line difference between the two. Tetris for Sidnev, B00, that is a 1.1 million. There's a Tetris for Cobra. He's got the max out and more. All right, Sidnev, a little bit of cleanup to do, and level 29, that speed is going to double in 10 lines, so forward it's got to come down. Tetris for Cobra B29. He's got the 1.1. Sidnev is into 29. Longbar gets over a Tetris for Sidnev. Tetris is on 29, worth 36,000. Cobra is in, so this is a good high scoring game here. Tetris for Cobra C11. And Sidnev's board getting up a bit high. He's thinking a Lombard down that right side, but that left side, I don't know how you fix that. And that is going to be a top out for Sidnev at B85, and I think Cobra might have been killed by the same drought. The players do get the same piece set, so they encounter the same droughts, and I think they were killed by the same drought, but Cobra was just a little bit ahead. 3-2-1 Tetris. The prize pool is sponsored 100% by all the viewers. Want to contribute to the prize pool. Our goal is $2,000. We have hit our prize pool goal like every month for years. If we get to $2,000, we can pay our top 8 instead of our top 4. It's a 32-player tournament. And, I would love it if we could get to that $2,000 so I can stop harping about it, right? I'm tired of inveighing upon you to come on, let's support that prize pool. They'll just shut up about it. All right, players with some initially high early stacks, and they do have the same piece sets, so they encounter the same droughts, they encounter the same weird RNG. Of course, they'll have different stacks when those same pieces hit them, or the same droughts hit them, so affect them differently, but Jazzy Josh with the online fact says Sidnev was the last new winner in CTF. Yeah, we haven't had. It's just been dominated really by 5 or 6. Discipline not to make the 6-7 joke, but the 5 or 6 kind of players for the last couple of years. We had 4 different winners last year. We had, I think, 5 different winners in 2024, Sidnev among them. And then 2023 was an insane year where we had, basically 12 different Masters level events with 11 different winners, with Dog being the only one to win twice. 185 for Cobra, 189 for Sidnev. What is a drought? Oh, a drought is when you don't, a drought is when you don't get a long bar is the most important piece of NES Tetris. The only way that you can score the super high scoring line clear is with a long bar getting all 4 lines at a time. And if you don't get a long bar for a long time, it's really, really bad because not only is it the piece required to get the by far highest scoring line clear, it's also a very versatile piece, and players kind of build their stacks around getting that long bar. When you don't get it, it's pretty bad. And the RNG in NES Tetris is not like modern Tetris where you're guaranteed to get every piece every so often. It's essentially totally random. 315 for Sidnef, 312 for Cobra. Yeah, we're not going to have a Masters level event where cards allowed, but it's still on my bucket list, before I shuffle off this mortal coil or whatever, to do the Try Hard Cup. Talvin with the $25 contribution to the prize pool. Thank you so much, Talvin. Talvin says, you rock, Vandy. Talvin, appreciate that. 368 Sidnep, 404 for Cobra. Yeah, I do want to do I've just been in my head out loud a couple times, been calling it the Try Hard Cup, which is basically anybody who's never won one of our tournaments is invited to play. Of course, we have tournament. By the way, we have tournaments for every skill level. So, there's a monthly qualifying that happens, and it's not just the best players in the world. We have people even as bad as me. We have tournaments like all the way down. Everybody who submits a qualifier gets to play in a tournament. 468 for Sidnep, 485 for Cobra. Big weekend, guys. We've got Masters event finals. We've got the Olympics kicking off, and we got the Super Bowl. So, 3 events of equal excitement and dignity and stature, right? Oh, and CWC Washington, true. 496 for Cobra, 565 for Sidnep. Yeah, it's interesting because on this side of the bracket, this match, players have combined for one total Masters event victory, and the other match is a combined 21 Masters event victories. So, at least on one side of the bracket, someone will have a chance either to get number 1 or number 2. 572 for Cobra, still on 19, into level 20, Sidnev, 638. Into level 21 now, 652 for Cobra, 693 for Sidnep. You guys are going to hear, ready? Listen to my heart. How loud is this typing? You guys hear that? Is that like super loud? These players have only met one time in Classic Tetris Monthly. That was back in May of 2025. And that was just the top 16 match. And Cobra actually took that one in a decider, 3-2. Also met in Classic Tetris League back in 2024. And Cobra took that one as well. 839 for Sidnep, now 869 after a Tetris. Level 24 Tetris is worth 30,000 back in May of 2025. Yeah, all the way back then. It was a while ago. Tetris Cobra 850, 931 Sidnep. Iggy says no sound at all. And someone else says barely audible. I don't know. I think people can hear me. Okay. If you can hear me, if you can't hear me in chat, type blueberry muffin. Can't hear me, okay? Oh, the keyboard? Oh, the keyboard. All right. Good. A41, Sidnev has got the max. All right, Jaggernaut, Winter, Stolen Shorter, they cannot hear me. All right, everybody hears me. Salty Seaman hears me on YouTube. Him and a Tetris for Sidnev, B51 into level 29. And here comes that speed increase again. Long bars, right and left for Sidnev. Try to start getting Tetris ready again. Cobra's in with a BO3 back by 60,000. A little under 2 Tetrises. Tetris dirty for Sidnev, 2 rows up. 1.2 million for Sidnev. That's what the C means. E is 62 for Cobra. Cobra back by 50,000. Sidnev covered. And uncovering it. Long bar down into column 2. Kind of a difficult well to play well. Column 2. Gets a Tetris over there. I'm going to try to open up the right side. Open and Tetrising D26. Cobra C36. Oh no, Sidnev. All right, gets another Tetris down. D73. Try to fix this one. And Cobra still fighting, back by about 100,000 points. And we've just got 30 lines to go until level 39 super kill screen kicks in. That is unplayable. Players are going to have to do all the scoring they're going to do between now and 330 lines. D00, that's a 1.3 million for Cobra, 1.4 million for Sidnev. Cobra gets a long bar down for a triple D18 and doesn't seem to be able to get this down and get this clean. Sidnev, level 38. Sidnev building for that triple, and yeah, it doesn't matter because Cobra is going to top out level 37. Sidnev is good, but let's see level. Oh, see, I wanted to see level 39. See how fast it is. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Io, did you really get a PB? $1 a pen. Oh, easy. Trying to make me go broke. Yikers. Thanks to the follows, by the way, Lee Keel, Pragler, Twig. That's Jade, right? Sasquatch, Videli Nona, Smug Whale, None Ya Business, Labrador, and Nico Funk. Appreciate that. Forgot to follow earlier. I'll consider forgiving you. Right, 69,000 for Sidnev, 68,000 for Cobra. We are $154 short of our $2,000 monthly incentive. If we get there, we can pay the top 8 instead of the top 4. Whatever you got, you have available to contribute. Please consider contributing. Any amount is fine. You don't have to be ashamed if all you can do is, $150. We'll get the rest of the way there. Don't be ashamed. It's fine. Nuna Kababwe asking again. Oh yeah, so yeah, it's hard to ask administrative and Vandy Woodja questions like in the middle of level 29 phase, but would I consider an event inviting veterans of Tetris? Well, for one thing, this is an open event, so the veterans of Tetris are welcome to come back anytime. 2, we did do a Tap Masters where we restricted rolling and said nobody could do the rolling technique, and so tappers and DAS players were able to do it. And we did have players come back like Corian and Joseph Saley, among others. And we are going to do that event again sometime this year. Not exactly sure the timing of it, but try to get it in. And I think I did mention I do want to do a try hard tournament, the Try Hard Cup, right? Where people who have not won a Masters can compete at Masters, and people who have not won a Challengers or higher can compete at Challengers, all the way down. Basically, you are invited to compete for any level that you have not won a tournament or or higher.
Needed to hyper tap for that one.
Nobody wants that. Veteran event once per year would be cool. I don't know what the it's an open event, so veterans are welcome to show up and I mean, if it's just like an invitational fun I mean, I guess we could do that, but we don't really do that. I mean, Kingsman kind of has the market cornered on those invitationals. And I mean, I don't like running around begging people to, would you please join my tournament, Mr. Veteran? You know, I don't want to do that. I just like, all right, I'll make a tournament, show up or not. 411 for Cobra, 461 for Sidnep. And, we have DAS Masters. So you see a lot of players, they're invited. All those veterans are welcome to play in DAS Masters if they can, hang. But why would I? What am I going to do? Say, oh, well, Pixelandia, you can't compete because we need Frank Westfall to play in it. Like. I mean, we're mostly about open tournaments. Rook Potato with the 666 contribution. Sidnep in a dig. And this is doable on 18, but it's a tough board, and the wrong run pieces really mess you up here. That left side. I don't know what you do, and what you do is top out on 18, and Cobra is good in game number 3. You're thinking Corian, Green Tea, and Jeff? Yeah, so those, I love those players. Corian did come back for Tap Masters. Jeff has played in our DAS events, and Green Tea, I'm sure if he could show up and play, and that was a priority, he would. But 3-2-1 Tetris. I like that. You get a raid from Simply where like pretty much anything goes, and then it's like someone said something almost kind of slightly not nice, and it's like that was not very nice. Like totally different experiences on the internet, and isn't that great that you can get that, right? I think that's funny. $70,000 for Cobra, 51 for Sidnep as we get underway. Bent in the Sky says, love classic Tetris community. I do too. Believe it or not. You would think. After 7 years. 7 years? 8 years? Oh my god, it's more than that. It's like 9 years. Jeez Louise, what am I doing? Oh man. All right, 142 Cobra, 124 Sidnep. Thank you, Chen. Appreciate that. Smacks with the 14-17 contribution. That gets the prize pool up to 1867, 1867. Oh, wow. Tayo has said, I finally got my PC back up and running, which has put me in a good mood. So if the rest of y'all in chat can get this prize pool up to $2,000, Tayo will gift 20 memberships over on YouTube and 20 over on Twitch. Guys, channel could really use that. So, I mean, everybody wins, except Tayo, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, so let's see what we can do. Let's try to get that incentive. So we need $133 more. Oh, pin by Tayo. Okay. N-Dog. All right, it was N-Dog. Tayo. Thank you, Tayo. Tayo, you have to do it. Did I say Tayo? It was pinned by Tayo, but it's Nate. Tayo, you have to do it. That's it. You and Nate both have to do it. That's it. But anyway, yeah, don't let this opportunity slip. Channel could really use the help. And that'll get that prize pool up to where you need to be. Reason that we can continue to do this event month after month is because y'all get it, support it. You don't have any money? All right. You're good for it, though, right? You'll get it later. You'll get it later. But yeah, thank you, Ed Dog. Really appreciate that. Need $133. That's like 10 people doing $13.30. Is that how math works? Yeah, take out a payday loan title. I think if 20 people do 665, I think that's how math works. Yeah, let's do it. 1, 5, 10, whatever you got. We've only got a couple hours to get there. We really would need to unlock that incentive. 400 for Sidnep, 453 for Cobra. Oh yeah, thank you, Vent in the Sky, putting that Matcherino over on Twitch. Somebody want to use the Matcherino command over on YouTube just to bring it up? Yeah, use that Matcherino command. That'll bring up the link. Follow the one for January. Yep. All right, we'll do that, Luke. We're not going to pin the seed. We're just going to spam the seed in the chat. Or I'll spam it, and don't you guys do it. For real. $545 for Sidnep. One burn to go until level 19. There's the burn. There's 19. There's the Tetris. 570 for Sidnep. Cobra is into 19 at 557. OTA Howard with the $33 contribution. That is going to get us up to $1,900 in the prize pool. $100 remaining to unlock, a good amount for the channel and for the 5th through 8th finishers in this tournament. Tetris for Cobra 617, Sidnep 679. Long bar down, Tetris Cobra 643. Thank you again, OTA Howard, Max, Rogue Potato, and Talbot for your contributions so far. $100 to go. $15 from Watermelon Cowboy. Watermelon Cowboy says, please don't leave me Vandy. Guapi with $25. Guapi, where'd you get $25? Are you like 16? Back. It must be crypto. $17 56 for Cobra, 800 for Sidnev. Thank you so much. Vent in the Sky, Salty Sea Man with the $20 contribution gets us up to 1963. Vent in the Sky, $3. Pocket rent change, thank you. Yeah, 1963 is where we're at. 844 for Cobra, 894 for Sidnev. Lost all your crypto gambling. Oh, rip. Now, back when I was a youngster,
Show me how it's
like
done.
people like your grandparents or your aunts or uncles or whatever, mostly uncles, let's be real here, would give you like a savings bond for like a gift. Does that still happen, or do they just give you like a part of a Bitcoin or something? I used to get a savings bond. A30 for Sidney. There's a one bar in Tetris. A64, A16 for Cobra. So both players with the max out. No, they just give you money. 669 from Commodore Friday. That's going to get us up to 1969.69. Commodore Friday. There should be CTM coin where it's used only for prize pools. Probably don't want to do that. Yeah, people don't like when you mess with crypto. I remember some Tetris organization decided to issue like NFTs and all this other stuff. That did not go over very well. Lee Kill for the $15 contribution. Thank you. B61 Cobra. Tetris for Sidnev. C18. Commodore Friday said, doodly doo, there's a building. All right. All right, Cobra trying to fight this down. B73. C67 for Sidnev. It doesn't. I don't know. The issue crypto, it just seems like I think it's a good technology. Blockchain stuff, it's a good technology. People issuing coins and things, like, kind of scammy. Sidnev trying to uncover that right side, gets that long bar over to the left. Sidnev gonna open up the right, waiting on the bar, skimming, waiting, Tetrising, D40 for Sidnev. Cobra with the perfect clear into level 33. Sidnev ahead by about 50,000. Sidnev in kind of a tricky spot here. And I don't see what she's going to do. So that's going to be a top out at D47. So Cobra is 5,000 away from getting this. Doesn't know it yet. And there's a Tetris for Cobra. And Cobra is headed to the finals for the first time. Sidnev tops out on 34, and Cobra will be going to the finals for the first time ever. GG, Sidnev. You did great. $2,000. We got there. Another one from Watermelon Cowboy. Thank you so much. Sidnev, GG's to you. Congrats. You did a great job. Certainly not the way you want to go out today, but sure you'll be back. And number 2 is coming. I think it's coming. But there you go, $2,000. That means we have unlocked Ed Dog's contribution to the channel. It's going to be 20 subs over on YouTube and 20 on Twitch. So GG's Cobra. Cobra excited. Got into those finals. First time ever. It's his first time in the semis. First time in the finals. And it's his first time as the number 1 seed in this tournament. So Cobra.
Old Spice. One blew open. The ugliest Civic looking stuff came. I can't believe I did it for the video. Oh my god. Wild thing has happened to the Brawl format. Every deck now has access to a two-card combination, a two-colorless card combination that just kills the opponent out of nowhere. So naturally we're playing Nadu, as it's just a deck we can play. But we're going to hopefully showcase in this video how soft our opponents are. Yeah, but really how absolutely insane the Painter Servant Grindstone combo is, and how you can slot it into any deck. So if you guys are good, and Libby, don't just do this for them like because they exist. Okay, make them earn it. Make them earn it. Don't do it yet. But if you're good, Libby will put the Grindstone and the Painter Servant on the screen. One over there, probably one over there, and one over there, probably. Maybe she'll do that if you are good. Are you good? Probably good. So Grindstone lets you mill the opponent, and then you repeat the process if colors of the cards you mill match. While Painter Servant makes every single card those colors. Simple. You play the Painter Servant, you play the Grindstone, 6 mana, just out of nowhere. The opponent has no library. Can happen at any time. So every deck has access to this now as a way to just close the game, and it's particularly good in decks that also have access to artifact tutors like Whir of Invention, Fabricate, and Nadu. At first, doesn't seem like it matches any of this stuff, right? But then you think about it, and you're like, oh wait, what does Nadu want? What does Nadu want more than anything? It wants Lightning Greaves, right? So against Dak Baden, who steals artifacts, that's a little scary. This hand does have a turn 1 elf, though, and I think we're going to keep it just on the basis of play Nadu, make the opponent interact with Nadu. On the draw, though, this elf is really likely to die. It's not going to get much better on the draw, though, than getting down an elf and threatening to get down Nadu as quickly as possible. Brawl is a very fast format. They have a currency converter, which is awesome with deck because you can exile the cards that you discard and then make 2/2 and such. So, a good first play from our opponent. Why run Bobble? Because we still use our graveyard, still like to thin our deck, and we have a very special card in this deck as well, Mox Opal, that we run a critical mass of artifacts to turn on. Now that Chromox is banned, running Mox Opal is definitely not free, but it's definitely something you want to do if you can. Oh, that's good to know about. Jeez. Can't be countered. We're going to have to save Subtlety for that card. Upheaval. This is in the format for God knows why. I don't know why. Banned in Commander. This card is insane, and the reason you run it in your blue decks, especially those that like vomit a bunch of permanents on the field like Nadu, you might be thinking, oh, you bounce all the lands, why would you undo all that? Well, in 1v1, Upheaval is very good, because in 1v1, you just tap all those lands for mana, you cast the Upheaval, you float the mana, then you play out some permanents past the opponent. It's like you restarted the game, except you have permanents and they don't. You took the greatest turn 1 in Magic. Oko Lorwyn Liege off the top, Stifle. That seems pretty good here. Oko Lorwyn Liege, +2, up to 1 target creature gains all creature types. That triggers Nadu. It's also a quick way to get some threats going. And some card advantage. The opponent passes the turn. That's interesting. So we're looking at Mistrise Village, which can play around a counterspell, but do they even have a counterspell? I don't know. I'm going to hide the Mistrise Village, because we're not playing it this turn. I'm going to use the Elf mana. I'm going to put the Nadu on the stack. I do Memory Lapse the Nadu, which we'll put on Library. Let's see, wait for them to mill me or anything like that right now. Keeps them from activating the 2 mana ability of the Converter to draw a discard, which is kind of a bag of holding. Play Dak here. So, do we Subtlety Dak and Stifle? I think this is the play. I think, yeah. I mean, it's too good not to, right? So let's exile the Upheaval. We're going to be getting out ahead and trying to stay out ahead this time. We're going to send Dak away. Don't give them the information about the Stifle yet. They put it on top. We stifle our own subtleties trigger to keep our 3-mana 3/3 flyer for a free. Our free mana 3/3 flyer. And we are going to work. Don't think they have a board wipe here. We could get the Oko down. I like doing Oko next turn. I like going right at him here. It's pressure time. We need to close before Chandra can come out to play. And we need to put Dak on the back foot. But here comes Dak. +1, draw 2, discard 2, which will stock the converter, which means it can make a 2/2 creature or a treasure. If they hit their land drop, they probably missed their land drop. If they hit their land drop, they can't threaten to Chandra next turn, but that doesn't really help them because this is an elemental and this is a 3/4. So as you can see, Painter Servant has revolutionized the deck. We haven't needed it whatsoever so far, but just having a 2-card combo hidden in your deck that has creature tutors, which can always get you the Servant, and artifact tutors, which can get you the Grindstone or the Servant. Some of them at instant speed, like War of Invention and Quarter Calling. Pretty good. Makes it pretty good. Today's video is brought to you by Riftbound Spirit Forge. Thank you, Riot Games, for sending me this sweet Spirit Forge box. Let's see what's inside.
The
We've
heck?
got the Rumble Champion deck. We have a
I'll do one more.
Champion deck. And we've got a Spirit Forged booster box. Ooh. Ah. I'm going to rip this open really quick and see what's inside. Woo! I got an over-numbered Draven. Glorious Executioner. This legend is a machine. Whenever you win combat, you draw a card. Units in this game function in a lot of ways like ring spells. There's a lot of combat, so Draven draws a ton of cards, and this is already redefining the Riftbound meta. Thank you, Riot, for the sweet Riftbound package. You can check out Spirit Forge at your local game store today. The deck list is in the description. By the way, this is how you do it, guys. What are we up against? Dragon Lord Ojitai. There's probably no way they're just going to let me turn 3 kill them. But it wouldn't be a YouTube video if I don't try. Just snap that, consider. Okay. They know what they want. They don't need that subtlety. They know. I want to see a card. What do you got? Light a hand. Don't care. Just run out the grindstone. So, practical uses of Painter Servant. It's a body, which means targeting it triggers Nadu. You can name blue, so that you can easily play your subtlety. That's pretty good. You name green if you want to run, if you've got a Force of Vigor in hand. Right? That's not bad. So blue helps the opponent, so I am going to name green. In case they have like a pitch spell. But here it is. They have to kill the Painter's Servant, or their deck is gone. On turn 3. If I had been able to like get out the Sylvan Safekeeper, that would have been so busted. Like if I had a Mox Opal into Sylvan Safekeeper here, insane. And if this doesn't work,
Let
it's
me do
fine.
level 50.
I'll just play Nadu. We can play that game, but it does force them to do something right now. Real life.
Too slow.
Consult. One blue open. The ugliest Simic looking stuff. Game. I can't believe I did it for the video. Oh my god. No cut games, guys. Just straight in. Third game of the video. Just curve into it. Poor blue-white control. Poor Ojitai. I love this card. I feel so bad about this. So that thing I did last game, just do it every game. Just mulligan for it. I'm sure it'll work out. I'm sure the opponent will never interact with the Painter Servant. They'll always be stuck with Terror in their hand, right? And they can't kill an artifact creature. They're just cooked. Kefka. That is very disruptive. This should be pretty interesting push and pull tug of war kind of game. So, if those who don't know, Nadu
Can
is
I
nerfed on
please?
MTG Arena.
Jesus
And this is
Christ.
relevant because we run blink spells in our deck to both exile the Nadu and also then to reset the Nadu so we can get more triggers out of it. Kefka is very likely to run a ton of removal. Normally I would want an elf, but I don't think an elf is very useful here. But Kefka probably can't deal with the armor. So I think I keep this hand because the Nesting Grounds as a land is harder for Kefka to deal with, as far as a way to target my Nadu once it's in play. Why do I run this card? I guess Bristly Bill can make something big. That Stifle you got there? Get multiple artifacts on the field. Kefka is good at destroying them, and I don't have Mox Opal. Let's do like this. Do like this. A little information can go a long way. Not a lot of good reasons not to run the Bobble, even if you have like lands like Shifting Woodland, if you have cards like Dig Through Time. And some of these are really good cards to know about. Like Force of Negation. Oh good, they shuffled. Hallelujah. Lucky me. Then they go get a Watery Grave. You get a Grazer, that would have been nice last turn, but like the Never, it's fine. It is one of the best cards to have against Kefka, because they'll just kill your Mana Dork. They're not just going to kill the Grazer. That's a good draw. Start with Grazer. Lots of 1-mana plays in this deck. Kind of infinite 1-mana plays. Yeah, we drew out the counterspell. Trust me, they didn't want to use the counterspell like that. Get a free equip of leather armor every turn, so let's use it. Might still have Watch Away, but most of the time if you see the counterspell, yeah, they could also have Tail's End. But usually this is the last card they want to spend because it is so versatile. Flame slash the Grazer paying the 1. My birthday came early. That's a lot of colorless mana, isn't it? Well,
Jesus Christ,
not
that jump scare broke me out of my focus.
this Wash Away. Better be for
I'll
those
have revenge.
Okay. Trigger. Nice. Got the Catacombs. I'm just gonna do it now. Because you'll get the draw. The armor falls off. Life goes on. And we got the Mistrise Village, so Nadu can come right back out to play. We built up Phyrexian Arena, guys. We did it.
Damn it.
Do I save my Catacomb, or do I crack it here?
Oh no, wait, it's the exact same guy.
Edict. Let's go get the Hedge Maze. Let's get a good surveil here. Soul Masters, but I didn't draw a card. They know. Maybe they don't. It's pretty nice, by the way, that Nadu doesn't draw a card at times like this. Darksteel Citadel is also here for the Mox Opal. I don't know if that's worth it.
Let's see if they fix their deck to handle against something like ours.
Not enough for Nesting Grounds here. Oh, wait, it's 1 and a tap, right? Okay, it is enough for Nesting Grounds. Then why are we doing it like this? Alright, let's hope
Well, I
for
feel a
damage
little
to
less
the
bad about
Counterspell.
not opening a thing now.
Armor. Upheaval. They love seeing that. You. Why not? Allosaur Shepherd. My 3/5
Piss off.
is ready to roll. Let's see if we can show off how good Upheaval is. People who weren't around for the Psych Talk days don't understand. They don't know Upheaval. They never will, probably. Shepherd, good.
Man, that servant ability feels like it never matters.
What they don't know about Rift, I'm gonna discard Rift. They probably have an instant. Nope, they got freaking Omo, so they draw a bunch of cards. Good for them. How much mana do we really have? Let's start with triggering Nadu for free, because if we hit a land, yes, that's very relevant. I'll show you why. Deck, green, Citadel, combat, attack, QQ, upheaval with 3 open, hand. I will restart the game, but with Nadu on the field. Oh, they had it? There's no way. Oh, no way. What a play. Well, that can happen. It's like the one thing that's a full punish. Holy crap. Okay. Game on. Forest, yeah. So the island, 4. I have the Bowmasters. Do I care? We'll just go 5 and 6. Okay. And now we're behind. They go first. So it can backfire. Really didn't expect that. But here we are. Do have to start back over, which I think is still, like, advantage us, but we'll see. Take that Warrior
Interesting.
Armor. They can take that with, like, a duress. It's really important to our strategy. Bowmasters open, but Bowmasters doesn't trigger on ETB like it does in real life. Also, Shepherd plays through counter magic, and they didn't know that was coming. Remove it. Round in the lock. Okay, their hitting cards are getting us. We no longer, we have a breeding pool to fetch, but let's wait for a landfall. Triggered? No, we don't have Bristly Bill, we don't have Cub, we don't have Cope. Not that kind of deck. So do we just use a Flooded Strand here while they can't interact with it? I think so. 3 mana. Can they counter this Nadu? They draw another counterspell as well. Okay, they have the Flame. Good God. Force of Negation. Here's the bird. It is the word. And we still have Nesting Grounds to trigger it. Pass. Play around Force of Negation. Well, I'm going to go for it. They're probably going to kill this in response. But it gives me 2 triggers. They did not kill it in response. They might regret that. Another creature to really get the Phyrexian Arena cooking. Okay, first things first. Trigger. Got a Caverns. Do I let this die? I think I do, because I think I need to sink into Stupor the Kefka. I can just bounce the Kefka. They're drawing so many cards, though. Yeah, I think I need that tempo, but then when do I replay this? Never mind. I'm just countering this. Man, I can't. It's 7 mana for Kefka. We've got time. I can't believe they had the subtlety, though. Just blows my mind. Okay. Can't bounce the Nadu, but we can bounce unable to scream.
They wanted
They
to
want
keep their
this in the
hand,
yard,
so I'm taking that as a
but
green
I
light.
want them to just draw land. Yep. Nice. Glory is a good card too. In the deck. We're in that zone. One island left.
I
Commandeer is a
see.
magic card. Hold it up. We play the Oko. All creature types. Ta-da. Ooh, they're doing it now? They don't have the mana for the Kefka, so this is something else. But so them exhausting this and getting sunk is a big deal. Dark Ritual, probably, though. See? Oh, Washi Tong. Nope. Nope, go away. See, you're kind of good. I don't like you. Alright, let's pay the green. Now we have this side, which can make 2 Elks. It can also mill 3 cards and put a permanent in my hand. Are the cards I need permanents is the question we gotta figure out. If we make the Elks, Washi Tong's coming. And they are at 12. How do I remove this stupid bird? It's close. Two elks is a lot of elk. Let's do it. Let's have board presence. Let's be aggressive. Feels weird. Attack you. Gemstone freaking caverns. Down to 10. Arena of Glory is exhausted. I mean, they're dead on board, right? So they've got to do something. They can't just interact with Oko. But they did. Must have just topped that, right? I guess they could have gone for the Washi Tongue last turn. Regardless. That is a Springs. Are we still going to win this? Are we still going to win this? Nesting grounds can move counters. I don't think that's relevant at the moment. Get him! 10 points. You're going to jump. Playing Kefka and attacking with Kefka isn't going to get you very far. You go all the way down to 3.
Wow, I can't stop drawing these. Oh, they surrendered. I thought they were charging because they wanted to ensure they'd be able to survive, but I guess without a guard, they can't do shit.